Hi guys, I am re-recording this because I guess it was bound to happen. Making the entire recordings and then realizing the sound is not in because some of you suggested previously that you cannot hear me well. So I purchased a microphone, and one has to remember to plug it in. So off I go. I did go. Luckily, I have a video that stayed, so I kind of like seen the cards, and so I can repeat it again. So before I start, just to tell you, this is a general February 14th overview of the flavor of the day and where we are all collectively going, because I have noticed while doing weekly and monthlies that we collectively are moving forward toward sort of a better place. Every sign is trying to be better. Everybody went through some kind of issues that they were resolving it, and some of them are still digging deeper but are on the way out. So Valentine's Day kind of like is giving us sort of like a time to stop and love, and it's not only about just the loved ones, but it's kind of general energy. So I just wanted to see what basically gives this flavor of the day, and this is what I pulled out, and I cannot tell you how excited I am. First of all, base cards, lovers can be better for Valentine's Day, and mixed with King of Pentacles. So basically, and look at that. So basically what this is saying is that we will experience obviously this loving energy, and we are going to experience it in a good way. Whether you are with a partner or you are not, this is going to be a really good sunny day. You can tell how many basically yellow pictures you have over here. So just see if I turn the light, if you're going to see it better, maybe a little bit better. So basically what this is saying, that all of a sudden you're going to have this surge of optimism, of moving forward, and overall it's going to be a really good day. And having these two basically cards in the base, lovers talk about universal love as well, not only personal love, but also talks about choices. And combine the King of Pentacles, that is basically king that, or a person that worked very hard for where they are, but who actually likes to enjoy the luxuries and who likes to enjoy, things in life, who kind of like understands that, like you just don't accumulate all these things just to like hoard them. You accumulate them to kind of like use them and share them with the others. So it's kind of like, you can even see it in a card if you look at closer. There is a castle in here, there are different kind of things he rules, and it's all kind of earthy things. So we're talking about food, we are talking about luxury, we are talking about how we decorate our home, and we are talking about these sort of like basic things, gathering people together and just having a good time. Pentacles is very grounded energy. This is what we do day to day. It is basically earth signs usually are good to representation of it, and basically most of us who do normal jobs for living are also representation of Pentacles. So if you look in the reading, we actually do have 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you count this one, 5 Pentacles, which means the February 14th is going to be very grounded energy. And in the opening, right, where are we starting this day? We are starting with the Fool, which is kind of like lovely card. It basically says that no matter where we are coming from, whether we came from a broken relationship or we are going on a date that day, or we are going through the spiritual growth as of recently, we are going to shed all these unnecessary things and baggage, and we don't have baggage anymore. Like, what a lovely card to get. Like, we all need this new start where we kind of like can still take a knowledge we have, but we don't take the prejudices and kind of like jumping to conclusions that we may have in the past. So his basically carriage is really light. He's taking just necessities, and it's really open to experiences, and loyalty comes kind of like naturally, because people who are really open to new experiences. And this card here says that this is a path. It's not going to just happen. It's not going to, whoa, it's a February 14th, now you're this person. It takes growth. This is a person who actually did plant things, and right now he is basically reviewing the work he did up to that point, and he understands that when you plant a seed, the seed doesn't bloom overnight, and it takes time to basically see the fruits of the labor. So that willingness to, see things grow, it's so symbolic of February 14th, because even if we have a relationship, it will take time for that to kind of like get somewhere, and for that it takes effort, and it takes review from time to time. Nothing is like just easy going. So I am not the person who is going to give you a romantic notion of, oh well, he's your soulmate, etc. You make your soulmate, and making your soulmate is a tough work. It requires good and bad, and it is how two of you glue is what's going to make it work, or it's not going to make it work. So this here tells me that most of us are willing to do our share of that connection, that we are willing to kind of shed prejudices and kind of start anew. So this will be the purpose. It's kind of like perspective on the higher self, which kind of confirms. We had 7 here, and now we have 8. So we are progressing a step further. So we are not anymore resting and just like thinking, okay, what do I need to do in the future? The future is already in your reading, and we are now understanding just what I was saying. The work is needed for that. Some of these pieces, coins that he's building, are going to break. Not everything is going to have this mastery, and not everything is going to amount to, if you see the castle as a promise in the future and the open sky. But the labor is needed, and sometimes you need to hammer down your point, as you can tell in a picture. And again, this is not to sugarcoat anything you do. We can say whatever we want to our partner, to our friends, as long as it's not in an abusive way. In fact, Aquarius is a sign of friendship, and February 14th is happening during Aquarius time on Zodiac. And basically what most people fail to understand, that this kind of romantic love is not Aquarius notion. The love that Aquarius feels is more universal, and what I'm seeing here is the universal love. And it's actually lovely to see, because it means you're not going to dedicate yourself just to one person. You're going to dedicate yourself that with that one person you're going to lift yourself to the much higher level. Especially now with the moon in Leo, which is contrary to Aquarius, it's almost like that we are reaching this world. It cannot be better, that basically you will see the bigger picture, but you are going to also see what is in it for yourself, and you will grow it. And this is even confirmed further with stuff that you had in the past, either in this life or in past lives. You did work on it. You kind of did get yourself to the level of understanding the day-to-day abilities, and Black Horse is unknown, so you're still allowing yourself to walk through unknown. You understand there are things that still might be there that are not known, which just like Fool reacts, but you're willing to kind of go through it. And that's the beautiful thing, because we usually feel paralyzed. We get all these bad cards, and 4 of Swords or Tower if we just cannot get out of our paralysis, but there is no such thing here. I'm so happy. This is probably the best reading I have ever seen. It's, if I pull the cards, I probably would not pull such good cards. So what is basically the challenge, and what is the lesson in here? How interesting that we did get here 9 of Cups, which talks about a person, and this is a wish card. So if you had, guys, any wishes for yourself for Valentine's Day, they will happen. They might not happen in a form that you want, because you see, funny enough, it's a cup card, which kind of is emotional card, but he is guarding his heart chakra. So he understands that heart doesn't belong to everybody. So if for some reason you don't get your advance is returned, it's a good thing, and take it as a good thing, because it means that simply there is somebody better for you. Also, if your wish kind of comes true with certain person, that means that you still have to have some work placed into it. But you know what, again, like, please make your wish, and let's crown that over here, because I did pull a few cards over here. And let's go further. So now we are talking about this cross of definition, which basically tells me these, 8 cards here will tell me this will happen no matter what. And then we're going to get to what you guys can do to affect the situation. And sometimes you affect it in a negative way, sometimes in a positive way. So let's go with that. So the world, again, beautiful. It's basically accomplishing. It's the end. And the end to many sounds horrible. Well, wouldn't that be nice to kind of not to be a single and to get engaged? So it's the end of being single. Isn't this nice to kind of break from a bad relationship? So now you are understanding that this full energy here combined with world means you're moving in a new direction. It's a time for new you. And you understood what things didn't work, and you learned that you actually do have abilities to kind of go step by step, maybe slower, but there are energies of being grounded, and you're understanding that this new system will take time to build. So the world is really, really good thing. So now we actually already have 2 things that are new beginnings. This is a definitely new beginning. This is the end, but promise of a great beginning. And this is also wrapping things up card. So some of you will be wrapping things up, but it's all good. You're going to be fully aware of what is going on. You're going to be fully willing to do that, even though that's not a good thing, but you're going to feel good about it. So no matter what happens, these cards, literally this combination of the cards says that no matter what happens, it's going to be good. So now let's go to the basically the pillars of relevation and see what happens. So there is 2 of Pentacles, which is another card that shows groundedness, and this comes in a sort of what the day itself can be. So again, this is a juggling of things, but there is infinity, that there is somebody who actually understands that things go up and down, just like in the relationships, and the life goes up and down. So this kind of warns us not to kind of take things superficially, and if you choose partner, that this partner has to have a good presence of mind and understand that partner is going to be with us in good and bad times. So you're not here going to be looking just for somebody who is good on paper. I usually question that I tell my clients, my coaching clients, when kind of they're trying to improve themselves, to be kind of to optimize themselves for a relationship. I said to them, ask yourself if you would be with this person if you win a lottery jackpot. Because that kind of reveals a lot if they're with the person for the wrong reasons. So, all this stuff, he has to have this, or she has to have that, she has to be beautiful, doesn't make any sense anymore. At that stage, you're going, is this person kind of encouraging me in my growth? Do I feel good when I snuggle up with this person? Do I feel good when I'm with family with this person? It's kind of lots of elements. So this card is just basically saying, again, you're grounding yourself, and you're understanding that this new relationship or whatever you're going to have as a hope is going to have ups and downs, and it's kind of going to be this infinite loop that you need to juggle. The outside influences and sort of the way you feel, it's going to be temperance. And again, there is a basic an angel that is, we have our second angel, we already had an angel over here, that is kind of bringing the opposites together. And here this angel again is bringing the opposites together. So we here understand, this card tells us that we need to understand that bringing 2 people, is mixing 2 different things. And sometimes these kind of liquids can create a combustive, basically, reaction, and sometimes they can create completely new reactions. So here on this card we see sort of it's definitely not the sun, It's some kind of like volcanic eruption. So it's something that kind of culminates to the surface, and whatever it's going to be a good thing, because it's going to give you a new vision, and it just shows the ideas brimming and the sun shining over here. And by the way, the element of sun is present everywhere. All this kind of yellow that you see in the cards, look at yellow, 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 yellow. It cannot be more than basically sunny outlook. So feelings wise, you're going to be balanced. You're going to think and wait for the other person's point of view. You are going to think about it before you react. You're not going to react in haste. You are not going to be feeling wronged if somebody rejects you. You're going to think, okay, why he or she feels this way, and okay, well, sucks for me. Now I lost it, but now I know what and how he perceives me. And is that true? And review yourself and see if that's the real reason, and move on. Because you cannot make other people change. They can only change themselves, but you can change yourself as well and kind of optimize yourself for the better future. So then we are coming basically to interesting point here. Again, we have the sun, and sun is shining, and I don't even need this card to say that it's a sunshine on the table, because obviously it is. But this basically tells us what we need to overcome in us, what could be still some kind of obstacles and fears, but also what kind of represents our hope. So what kind of like is here is like childlike energy. We are going back to the Fool, which is a kind of childlike energy, and like somebody who wants to do the things grow and flourish. I mean, you have flowers that represent this growth and kind of earthy energy, and earth of course can flourish without the sun. And it's a white horse. It's somebody that you're familiar with, so you're going to experience happiness with people that you have, or that you already know. You're understanding how lucky and gracious and grateful you already are in your life. And on the other hand, this can also represent a fear that you feel that you might feel that this is not meant for you, that relationships are not your thing, that you might not be happy. But it's not going to be fear in a bad way. It's going to be simply a choice, because this choice is not only in between the two partners, but this choice is also in between partners and being solo. Nothing wrong about being solo if this is what makes you happy. Sometimes we need to be solo while we are working on ourselves, and while we are improving ourselves, or while let's say that liquids we were talking about mixing here, like maybe our liquid is like at this stage a little bit tainted because we just came out from a bad relationship. So we need to clear our well before we just move ahead. So this kind of like could be this understanding. I'm not ready yet, but I am ready to put this work in here. And lovely crowning card, and basically what's going to be the flavor of a day compared to like in addition to basically the base card is just absolutely lovely. It's again Pentacles, and we see here 3 people, and you can be any of the 3. Again, you can be the person receiving charity, so something is going to come to you to understand, wow, I'm worthy of other people's attention, and I'm worthy of other people's care, so you can be this person to understand, what is really interesting about this card is, the scale. So this person not only gives, but is kind of giving that he measures to give equally. So this talks about relationship and the new life that you're going to experience. You want to see it through the eyes of complete equality. You want somebody who is in a situation with you and who is willing to kind of like put up with you. And also, if that partner or you ever get into the better situation, that you're going to be really willing to lend a helping hand to this person and do it in a balanced way. This actually shows not to drag somebody through life, but sort of like give them just enough to get ahead. You do not help people by entirely creating solution for them. So I don't know, parents, they buy entire house and and car and everything for newlyweds, and a year later they're all divorced. Like, is there a surprise to anyone? Come on, people. People are supposed to do things themselves. This is where the love is growing. Look at his pentacles. It's growing in jointly creating things. You do not just throw things at people, because 1, they don't appreciate. 2, they think, well, this is just normal. 3, they don't even understand where the parents are coming from, where the idea was really noble. Again, parents' idea was noble. Let me give it to them. I don't want them to live hard life as we did. Let me not use that BS word, but that's what it is. Here, it means give them enough to get ahead. Make sure they don't live in poverty, and make sure that your partner, is not feeling lesser. Make sure that they feel that they are on your level. Absolutely lovely reading. So what do I do here? I kind of want to also ground certain cards here, because certainly here we are talking about harmony. Let's ground this card. Then we are talking about joy. Where would you want me to put this card? Absolutely any single one. Let's put it on the sun. Let's put it here. Let's put it here, because obviously you enjoy both ways, and that's the funny part about giving. You actually enjoy giving. It's a good feeling, and it's actually easier than taking. So maybe the person who is a giver should also understand that it's really difficult task for this. So let's put celebration on the sun, and let's kind of focus on the positive ways and temperaments. Again, I would just put here, you're going to kind of relax all about it. And the Fool's energy, I would say it's inspiration. You're kind of inspired. So now the 3 runes that came out in the reading were, interestingly enough, Sowella, the rune of sun. This is basically Eo, it's the rune of ideas, and this is rune of light, which again is the rune of sun. Hey, how appropriate that, we are getting 2 light runes again, kind of shining through this light throughout the reading. So sun cannot be more than beneficial for relationships. It's going to really energize you. It's going to make you get it. You kind of do want to go through this day getting it. Spend this day, if you have even 20 minutes, sit somewhere, close your eyes, and meditate on how will you move on. The rune of ideas, again, this it represents 2 horses, and it means lovers. What you basically need to understand, that the other person you choose, again, going back to, well, would you marry this guy, or would I marry this guy or this woman if I just won a lottery? It means that 2 of you should accomplish something greater than each of you separately will be able to accomplish. So somebody who really benefits you and kind of lifts you up in a certain way. And it's a really, really unbelievable rune to kind of get in a combination. And that guy's rune, the rune of the sun, or the light, is basically that illuminates your life. It's again connected to laughter, to fun, a good news with children. It can denote travel and holidays, and it means good times are symbolized, and they're going to kind of continue. So this is going to be absolutely fantastic, February 14th. And I really hope you enjoy it. And I really, really hope this is a new start for us collectively. So again, live, life, laugh, and love. And I'll talk to you soon.